Hi everybody. Wanted to show you a few examples for our Cezanne project, Paul Cezanne, and I made a makeshift whiteboard on my door here. So you can see that I did 3 apples in a bowl, I guess, a pointy bowl. Traditional little basket. This was the leftover paper that I used, and look at it, it didn't even connect right, so I hit it with little circles. And then I thought about it. He also did vases with flowers, so I did one here. And I just did with the orange flowers, I used red crayon on there. Because it's dark green paper, I used dark green, but then I put light green in there. And this is all done with crayons, so hopefully you have crayons to your access. And over here, during the lecture, if you watched that, where you had to move the slides, I talked about the Cezanne painting that my son did when he was in school, and there it is. I wish it was a real Cezanne, but you can't have everything. So this project is for 2 different schools, and I think everybody got this color green, but some schools got light blue and some schools got this sort of skin color paper. And I chose this as my background because this one I can do a lot of different colors. Here's my good old bag of orphan crayons. So I'm gonna start with some, wow, look at that, that's a scary crayon. So I don't even know what happened to that crayon, with making my horizon line. And when we're doing this, you can make the horizon line straight, and you can use any patterns that you want on here. I'm always working fast when I'm doing my examples because I just want to get you guys into doing your art. White would be a terrific color in here as well. And any kind of a pattern you want to do will be great. We're going to pan around real quick. I want to show something behind me here. Cezanne did a lot of fabric, and so I tried to imitate that a little bit here. It almost looks like the ground or dirt too, but you can do that. You don't have to make it straight. You can make curves or whatever and make it look like it's actually sitting on fabric. I'm going to borrow remember these, the Plasti Pastels? So the white will show up on there. And I think another good color on here would be red. You don't have to use, because everybody got 5 colors like this. Hopefully you did, if I counted out right. You don't have to use them all. You can use just the ones that you want. I just found that those seem to be the best colors for fruits. I'm going to put a little bit of red in here too. I think that'll look pretty and make it pop a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do a bowl of fruit. And the next part is this. And we have done this before. And for my little friends that are like TK or the kindergartners, this is hard for you, but the only way we're going to learn is to try. So if you want to try it on a bunch of different little pieces of paper, it's a good trick to learn. So we're going to make a card. And we're going to fold the paper in half like this and pretend that it says, "Happy birthday, I love you so much, you're the most fabulous person." See, like the card. Okay, now I know I need a bowl. And the quickest way to teach kids to do that is it has to be from the closed side. And a lot of you remember, we're going to make a long line and a short line. See that? Long line, short line from the closed side. And then you can make any kind of a curvy line in between, like that. I picked a color that would show up on the green. Okay. The next thing is this. I cannot cut it, and even when I'm in school and I'm with you guys, sometimes it's hard to see how I'm cutting. So I'm going to move in front of the camera to the opposite side to help you out so I don't move this and you don't get confused. I'm moving. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. You have to cut it from the closed side. And look at that. I went past my own line. If you go too far out here, sometimes that messes it up. So I usually like to have something that looks like this. And you can keep it. It's pretty. You could use it for other things. There we go. In school, and my friends who work with me, you know what I always say. Get rid of it. We don't need it. Because this is what we want. We want the inside. Okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to put this here. I like my things off-centered a little bit, and I know I'm going to be a little bit too high if I put it in the middle, because think about this. If you go like this, where the fruit's going to go, okay? So you want to be a little bit down and a little bit over. The other thing is this, got to decorate. And I do not care what kind of decorations you do. You can do whatever you want with whatever colors you want. I'm kind of thinking getting a little bit of a mermaid tail thing going on here. So I think I'm going to add some purple and some blue into this. And when I do that, if you're older and you're into shading, you can shade that. It would look really, really pretty. I'm going to go for this Plasti Pastel lighter blue. Ooh, yeah, that looks good. And you can fill the whole thing in. You can do some of it. Remember, Cezanne was all about color. He was not necessarily about it being perfect, and you don't have to be perfect with it either. So I would have finished that, but again, let's not waste time. Oh, I like that with the purple and the blue. Maybe we could even do some pink. Not my favorite color, but it would look pretty in here. Come here, pink. Yeah, I knew it would look good against that green. So another way to test those colors is that piece of paper that I threw away and just flung. You can test your colors on there to see if they are colors that you like. Okay, so, okay. I wanted to finish this without wasting your time. So look what I did, it looks nice. And then here's another trick. Put the crayon on its side. You gotta hold really tight, because if you don't, you might rip it. That's happened to me. So see how I'm kind of holding, that would be the way that rips. But when you put it up against the paper, this paper, see how pretty that looks? See how it does a contrast, another Cezanne little thing. All right, pick whatever you wanna do. My little friends, I know that you sometimes like to do blueberries, but think about at your home. Usually blueberries don't go in a big bowl of fruit because they're blueberries and they would fall to the bottom. If you're gonna make grapes, make them like this. Just make bubbles. And it's gonna look almost like a cloud, like that. And then you can make the circles like so. And remember, Cezanne was not about being perfect. We don't have to worry about them being exact. Maybe the grapes got beat up a little bit in the fruit bowl. And I won't finish it again, but you know what looks really pretty with this? If you do some highlights like that. Okay. My other trick with grapes is this. Sometimes I cut into it like that, so that way they can, when I glue it, they can hang outside the bowl like that, okay? And of course, yours would be finished. So we're gonna put the grapes there like that. Lemons. I think lemons are really pretty, and I'm going to use orange so you can see it. And it's hard because they're interesting little shaped lemons. So I do this. I make a little bit of like a coney shape at the top and then a cone shape at the bottom. And then I just sort of work my way around and it'll give me a nice big lemon. I gave you big pieces of paper, okay? Little people have a tendency to make little things. If you make a little baby tiny lemon like this, that will look really silly right there. You have to make your fruits big, okay? So we're gonna cut the lemon all the way around. And the lemon has a skin, and my friends in school are very observant. Let's see if gray works. And you can do those little dots that make the skin. So it'll have the little texture that lemons really have. And since I have a little bit of orange showing, I'll go like so, just so there's some contrast. And my lemon can go in there. Last, I think I'm gonna use red because look, it'll pick up the red from that. And I'm gonna make an apple. I'm gonna use purple for outline so you can see it. I like to make a little smile. Hello. And then I go all the way around, and I can make, you know, apples are all random. They don't all grow perfect and even, so don't worry about it. So then I'm gonna cut. And if you notice something about when Mrs. Donfrio is cutting, I am only opening and closing the scissors like a baby shark. I am moving the paper around. So the scissors are eating, and I move the paper around. So, pretty good apple. Now, apples, there are lots of different colors. Let me show you. This is a really good example of a beautiful, look at that. It looks like it's red and then, so you can get yellow or another color, and you can go like this. Again, nature is not perfect, so you can do, I'm gonna even add a little bit of green here to make that pocket. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna outline like this, okay? And when I put it in there, you can see how it stands out. See that? So when you glue, I always glue, dot, dot, not a lot, dot, 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 dot. You can smush it around a little bit. And I'm gonna put it down. And then I start with my fruits. I'm just gonna put a little bit because it won't matter. My sample's not going anywhere today. So there's, oh, that can't happen. Grapes can't show through. Lemon. Right there. Apple behind. Like so. And then you can do things like put in a stem here. Stem here. They're usually a little bit thicker, aren't they? There's a little glue there. There's green. If you want to make leaves, you can do that. You know, leaves are just too little pointy. You can do leaves however you want. You could glue a leaf right there, right there. You can even, oh, let's get the black crayon in there, do some pattern. And also, Cezanne, I have this leftover piece here. You could do maybe a small little tangerine or an orange. Again, I would probably do those little marks. And you can put your orange down here. And you know what this could use also? A little bit of outline, like so. One thing that's interesting that I found about Cezanne and artists from that period, there was no refrigeration. So the reason that he always had like grapes and plums and pears, tomatoes, fruits that were available at the time, not like pineapples or what have you, is because there were no ships that had refrigeration to send those types of fruits and vegetables to these artists. So they worked with whatever they had at the time. That's all I have for you. Good luck with your fruits. And if you decide to take a picture and do a portrait from a picture instead of this, good luck to you. Okay, bye.